Pinewood.
Recently, many of the local restaurants have changed their small size option to a whopping 64 ounces.
That's correct. And it's great for the consumer. More bang for the buck. Are we putting bargains on trial here?
How could any sane person call that small?
Well, if the customer truly wants a smaller size, there is an option.
Oh, do you mean the little swallow? Does anybody buy that?
Some girls buy them for their dollhouses, but they're not very popular. I mean, for only a nickel more, you get 64 ounces.
Well, Paunchburger just recently came out with a new 128-ounce option. Most people call it a gallon, but they call it the regular. Then there is a horrifying 512-ounce version that they call child size. How is this a child size soda?
Well, it's roughly the size of a 2-year-old child if the child were liquefied. It's a real bargain at $1.59.
I'm sorry, Miss Pinewood, but why would anybody need this much soda?
It's not my place to speak for the consumer, but everyone should buy it.
Although this video pokes fun at and seems to exaggerate the fast food industry and their constant need to provide consumers with bigger and better options, the theme presented here actually isn't too far off from the reality that we face today. The majority of the American obesity epidemic is a direct correlation of increasing portion sizes, which are caused by the portion distortion. However, this correlation is not true globally. While food is a necessity of life, nowadays it signifies much more. Take the Italians, for example. In Italy, the culture is centered around food, preparing meals with the freshest of ingredients and sharing those meals with people around a dinner table. Food forms a basis of creating memories and relishing in life's great pleasures. But portion sizes in Europe and practically all around the world, like in Australia, Hong Kong, and Japan, are much more reasonable than in America. Over the past few decades, American portion sizes have skyrocketed to become not only unnecessary, but more unhealthy than ever. Popular media companies such as BuzzFeed bring issues such as the ever-growing portion size increase to light by making videos that touch on the problem and asking viewers to respond with their reactions. Reactions are shocking. Some people make statements such as, "The small is now bigger than what they served in '55. That's crazy." And international viewers share that the small soda size in the US is the large in Indonesia, and the English large fry is basically America's medium. In fact, portion sizes in America have increased to new levels, creating multiple health issues, including a severely high obesity rate. Adult obesity in the US has risen from 14.5% in 1971 to 30.9% in 1999. The average weight of an American man has increased approximately 30 pounds over the last 50 years. From 1970 to 2009, the average US caloric intake increased dramatically. It was observed that there was a 20% increase to be exact. This increased caloric intake is one of the factors contributing to a high obesity rate in America. The average American is advised to consume around 2,300 calories per day, but the actual daily consumption of the average American is about 3,800 calories. Something here isn't adding up.
And Dr. Nancy Snyderman joins us here in the studio. Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Hi, Matt. I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, so now we looked in the refrigerator. We saw some simple things we can do to improve the health of our family, and we're going to talk now something you are. Portion distortion.
Yeah,
Talk about making you fat.
Well, this is really the difference between what our parents ate 20 years ago and what our kids are eating now. It's disgusting how different it is.
And this is basically what we're used to seeing, for example, in a restaurant or on our plate at home, that we think is now a normal portion size.
And if it's on your plate, Matt, you will eat it.
All right, let's start with the coffee lovers, okay? This is the cup of coffee I started drinking when I was a young adult.
But
right
you
here.
aren't anymore.
No, that's true. This was 45 calories.
It's an 8-ounce cup of coffee with a little whole milk. This now has milk and maybe a mocha syrup in it, and basically you've 245 calories versus 45.
And what you would have to do to burn off that extra amount of calories, you'd have to walk an hour and 20 minutes.
Right. And remember, 3,200 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. So by the time we get through this, you'll see how easy it is to put on that weight.
As you can see, oftentimes restaurants serve portions that are larger than the recommended serving size. This would not be a problem if we chose to split up the food into the appropriate portion sizes recommended, but the problem stems from us wanting to finish all the food given to us on our plates. The average restaurant meal is 4, and I repeat, 4 times larger than it was in the 1950s. Not only has the size of the average meal increased when compared to that of 20 years ago, but food itself has also become larger, and serving sizes have skyrocketed. In a 2003 study conducted by Penn State's College of Health and Human Development, it was found that there is a direct correlation between larger portion sizes and greater consumption. Volunteers were given gradually larger portions of macaroni and cheese for lunch. On average, the volunteers ate 30% more from a 5-cup portion than from a serving half that size, without reporting feeling fuller after eating the macaroni and cheese. The worst part of that is most of the volunteers even admitted that they didn't notice when the portions were becoming bigger. Overall, this study showed researchers that larger portions can result in greater consumption, which could be one more aspect contributing to the growing obesity epidemic. Besides Penn State football, what brings people together more than food? Food has become a unifying factor in our lives and continues to shape the way we live. Food is more than just something we ingest or 3 meals a day. In fact, food is something we have come to be passionate about. But the real question here is, have we taken this passion too far?